Hello everyone, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2. Thank you for joining me today. We are so thrilled you're here. So today I have a tutorial how to make this small traveler's notebook out of a paper bag for cover. So very fun project, quick, easy, perfect for a small gift if you're looking for Happy Meal gift, hostess, sorry, teacher, neighbor, so many things you could use this for. Make it for yourself, stick it in your purse. I love this size, and I love making paper bag covers. We have another tutorial on a paper bag journal cover, and I will link that for you down below so you can check that one out too. It's a different style of paper bag, so it is, you know, basically the same principle, but you do things a little differently with different types of bags, and so I will link that one down below. This one uses, I'll tell you a little bit more about the bag in just a minute, but it's a size 8 lunch bag, so it has the gusseted sides, and so I'm gonna put some of these in the shop in case you're interested in purchasing some of those. But so traveler's notebook, one insert, and so the signature or the insert elastic will be showing on the outside, and it has the typical elastic closure on that. I dangled a charm from there, and so it's got reinforcement of the spine with fabric, and I've put pockets in on each side. This is actually part of the paper bag, so that's a pocket there. And, you know, just decorated it very lightly. And of course it comes out just like a regular traveler's notebook. So I put in 13 pages, which is 13 papers. So that would be 52 pages altogether, including the fronts and the backs. So it's a decent size. Let's dive in. All right, let's get started with this paper bag journal. This is the bag that I've been using, and it's 12 1/4 by 6, and it's got a boxed bottom, so it has, you know, room to expand like that, but we don't even worry about that. That's gonna lay flat, and this is gonna help make our cover sturdy. I love making paper bag journals. I just love the feel, the texture, the crinkly. It's sturdy, especially when you reinforce your spine. It's sturdy with the different collages and stuff that you're going to build up on it. So, I mean, it is wonderful. So, lots of fun. You can make this in any size. I know I had the 12 1/4 by 6, which to me is like a perfect, almost like pocket-sized journal, but you could make small mini journals. They may have sizes that are, you know, slightly bigger, and then you could make a regular book-sized journal. So lots of possibilities here, but the basic concept is going to be the same. We also have a tutorial on a different kind of paper bag, which is a flat bottom bag. So it's all flat, and it's our paper bag grungy journals, and Cyndi has a video on that, so I will link her video down below. But let's get started on this one. So basically what this is, you lay it with that boxed flap right here, and that's going to be glued down, and then this becomes a pocket, so we're going to fold this over. Now for this one, about 2 1/4 inches, 2 3/8 possibly, fold that over and just burnish that down, and we are going to get started. So I'm going to glue this part down. We don't need it at all. It comes over a little too far, so when we fold this in half, it's going to be roughly a little shy of 5 inches by 6 inches. It's going to be about this size with a little bit of a spine, and so since this is our halfway mark, that comes over way too far for it to be a useful pocket. So we're just going to go ahead and glue that down. It'll make our cover sturdier, so it'll be fine. So just give that a glue, and then I think we'll also since this is pretty deep, we're going to go ahead and just glue this shut too. So just roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to sew. Now if you don't want to sew, then you definitely need to glue that all down. But if you want to sew, that will also hold it together. So either way though is fine. We're just going to give this just a bead of glue. So I ran the glue on the inside along this edge and all the way up to the top like that. Okay, so glued on the top and bottom and glued on the pocket part. So now you basically have a flat piece of brown craft paper. This is open right here, and I had been gluing that too, so let's glue that shut. You could keep that open and make it sort of a double pocket if you want to, but the paper does get kind of thin there at the top, so I just went ahead and glued that together. Okay, now we're going to wait for the glue to dry, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew this here, and then I'm going to sew all the way around the outside edge, and so we'll have some sort of decorative stitching along the outside. Decorative meaning you could sew decorative stitches, zigzags, straight stitch, it doesn't matter. You can sew whatever you like. I think I'm just gonna probably do a straight stitch. I might put a few zigzags in there, but I'm gonna sew after this dries. I'm gonna sew here first and then all the way around, and I will be back after the sewing is done and the glue is done drying. Be right back. All right, all stitched around. I did throw in a couple little zigzags here and there, but I started here. Well, first of all, we sewed the pocket portion. Don't sew it while it's folded, but sew it while it's opened. Start here at the pocket, go all the way around, and then end at the pocket. If you wind up starting here and stitching down, it's no big deal. Just make your pocket less deep, but it's not a big deal. All right, so we are ready to decorate. Wasn't that fast? We're ready to decorate. I am going to start, I think, by folding this so that I know how much surface area I have. And I'll put my spine on first. So what I usually do when I make a cover out of paper or something a little less sturdy, I usually reinforce the spine with fabric, and so I think we're going to put that on there. This is just a piece of torn Osnaburg fabric, similar to linen, and I already pre-did it so you didn't have to watch me dig through my stuff and look for that and I just ripped the edges, and what I'm going to do is reinforce the outside and also the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. So this, you do have to be careful when you're using fabric and glue because you don't want your glue to seep through the fabric. So, but of course you have to have enough glue so that it has a nice stick to it. So I'm going to just get as thin of a layer as I can here. Use your favorite glue. I'm using Fabri-Tac, which, I mean, as the name implies, it's super good with fabric. Just a nice little layer. And if some of it dries before you have a chance, don't worry, just lift it up a little and redo it. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Have some edges. Maybe just need a little dot. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. And I sort of like to have the fabric peek out over the cover a little bit, so I'm just going to stay with that look. And give this a nice smooth it out. This is a little better because now I can tell how wide the fabric is. Okay, and then just going to glue that down as well. Alright, And if I left too much hanging over, I can always clip that off later. Okay, that did bleed through a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm not going to worry about that right now. You could put something over the top of that if you want to, or since this is somewhat of a grungy journal, we could just leave it. So for now, I'm leaving it. So now that spine is going to be nice and sturdy for us. And you could make this to a journal. I was making it, I have made it mostly in a traveler's notebook style, and that's what we're going to be doing today. But you could also just, when it comes time to get your signature in, you could just sew it right into the cover, or just do the traveler's notebook. So pretty versatile. Making sure I'm all even. Okay, so I think I'm going to decorate the front cover, and I have picked out a few things already for the different. We're going to decorate the cover, the back cover, the pocket, the inside of this, and then the inside cover here. So I think we'll do the cover of the front cover first. So I did pick out some things, and hopefully I use them. Hopefully it's all good. Otherwise we may need to redo this. So my thought was, I usually do like a 3-color sort of background, and then I'll lay a couple things on top. And to give this more contrast, I have this black piece here, which I'm trying to see which is the best way. Alright, so I think I like that for my like 3-toned background. And since this is a traveler's notebook, I'm going to put an eyelet here and have elastic wrap around. So I don't need to worry about this side as far as maybe having a closure. You could do that though, whatever you'd like to do. You could wrap a ribbon around under here, and then glue it. And then you have a ribbon hanging this way and a ribbon wrapping around, and then you could tie it in a bow. That would be super cute. But I think we're going to stick with the traveler's notebook style. Okay, so I did ink these. I just ripped a plain paper, a paper with a bee on it, and then this black, just to give it a little more contrast. And I've already inked the edges except this. So I'm going to ink that up. Couldn't find my ink blending tool there. Alright, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this down. I think I like that design, and it fits pretty well now. Ooh, actually I'm not gonna glue that down. I'm gonna sew this first. So now I have to wait for my glue to dry. But I'm going to sew this. I'm going to sew around the edge of this and this. And then before I glue it down, I'm going to tuck that in there. And then I think I do like this. I wanted a little color on there. And then I found this word, which I had done a bee journal, and I must have stamped the word bee there. So I think I like all of that. So this is what I'm going to do first though. I'm going to sew around both of these pieces, sew around this piece as well. And I will be back after that's done, and then we'll glue it down. Alright, I stitched around all of these little pieces here. I didn't stitch on this. I was thinking it probably wouldn't show anyway, so. Alright, now we're going to glue it down. I almost forgot to sew, which for me, you definitely don't have to sew, and you don't have to have these edges ripped like I do. If you don't like that look, this is a little grungy, right? So if you don't like that look, just cut your edges straight, no big deal. We're going to overlap this fabric, not a problem either, not a problem. Alright, so let's see here. Just going to give that a good press. And then I think I liked this a little bit sort of in the left lower corner. I'm going to try that. We don't want this to be too big and fancy because it's a small journal. Plus, if we're going to be wrapping elastic around it, we don't want too much to obstruct the elastic either. So, okay. I haven't put that side down yet because I wanted to slip this in there. Slip that in there. Yeah, I like that. This is maybe a little too high. All right. Oops. Make sure I get all the glue off. I had a glue eraser. Looking around. I'm going to link one down below. If you have never used a glue eraser, they are fantastic. Now, the glue can't be like super old and it'll still work, but it like for instance, when this oozes out and it dries a little bit, I can still erase it with that eraser. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I didn't get the glue to the edge here. It's important to get it to the edge when you have elastic going to wrap around. Elastic will be wrapping around it. Okay. Perfect. All right. So, and this B word, I also just put little zigzag on each side of that, and I left the strings on there too, which I really like. So we'll see how that goes on there. All right, so to bring a little color and just make it a collaged up a little bit more, I put this on there with another B. Okay, make sure that's nice and glued down. All right, and then this should fit right there. Now, I was noticing the fabric is a little bit puckered right there. I'm trying to see if I can pull it out a little bit. You know what? I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that. I could put like a little layer of cheesecloth or something to help me out there too. But there, we're just going to collage it up like that. All right, I think I like that. I think I like it. This edge one more time. I think I'm a little scared to get close to the edge because this is a new bottle and the tip is big, so it makes me nervous to like squeeze it too much, just because I've been running out of glue and I've had to squeeze so hard, so I'm trying to be careful. Okay, perfect. Okay, loving that. All right, so let's flip it over back. Let's see, I picked out a couple things here. Which one? I think this one was the one on the back. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to stitch it first. I might as well stitch the rest of these too. I also had a pocket piece. I'll find that as well, but I'll stitch around these and I'll be back in a minute. All right, I am back. Stitched around on my pieces. So the back, I planned on putting this one, so we'll go ahead and glue that. And I just tore the edges again, inked them, and then just one line of stitching around. Oops. I'm not used to the glue coming out this fast. I was struggling with my glue. And then Cyndi sent me a bottle in the mail. I got a little present in the mail, so just in time. All right, so just glue that right on. All right, now the inside. All right, I did I did trim this already, but it looks like it's a little too big to fit inside that pocket. So what I'm going to do is clip the stitching. I have to clip the stitching, otherwise I won't be able to rip this. So I'm going to rip this a little bit more, and then see if I can slip that in there. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna decorate this part right here and just slip this paper right inside the pocket. So I lost my stitching at the is it the top? Yeah, the top. I think it'll be okay. Alright, slip that in there. That makes it a little sturdy, plus it looks pretty. Push it down farther. Got to make sure you steer clear of the center fold, because that's where our elastic is going to be resting. Alright, where did that... Alright, and now I'm going to put a little piece on the pocket too. And you could definitely put a little snippet on here, decorate the pocket a little bit more, but for now I just have the paper. Smooth that down, and then this is going to go right there. Alright, sometimes I wiggle it a little bit just to get the glue to smooth out a little bit. Alright, so there's that. There's our cover. Now, I also like to put a pocket right here. So now that that background is on there, what I brought this out for is I think I'm going to make this into like a tuck spot pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. I think I'm going to round the corners. Let's see, should I round? Yeah, I'll just round all the corners. And you know I got to stitch around it. I'm going to have to do that. You could put another pocket like this one, just one going straight down. You could put one along the bottom so that you can tuck a tag into there, something like that. And for now I just decided to use this piece of ephemera, this journal card. I thought it would make a nice size for a tuck spot. Alright, I'm going to stitch and I'll be back. Alright, all stitched, and so I will be gluing along the outside edge and the bottom. Carefully, so I don't get too much glue on here. Alrighty. There we go. A little bit much there in the corner. Alright, I'm going to glue that right there. Alright, all set. So now we can tuck something in there, a tag or fold out. All done. I love it. So, how to make it into a traveler's notebook. First of all, let's punch our holes. Alright, so I'm going to use a pencil and I'm going to mark this. I'm a little bit of a measuring person, so I'm going to go ahead and measure. So this is 6 inches high. I folded it so I have my center. So I'm going to go up about a quarter, let's say a scant quarter of an inch, but a scant quarter of an inch on each end. So I made a little dot there. And then we'll go in the center, which would be 3 inches. So the center one is for our closure. So, but as long as we're doing our holes and our eyelets, we're going to go ahead and do those. So I'm using my crocodile on the 3/16 inch setting, and I'm going to punch 3 holes. I maybe would use smaller eyelets, but I don't have any. So we're just going to go ahead and go with the bigger ones. I think that's what I used last time too, and they were fine. All right, like that. And then I picked out, since you have 2 layers of fabric, you may need to go back and trim just a tiny bit. Sometimes those fibers don't cut all the way through. But it was pretty good, except for this one. Sorry, except for that one. Okay, so we want the nice part on the outside. I'm going to flip this over to squish. We're going to squish these eyelets down. Make sure I get it in the right spot. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Oops. Slipped. Slipped again. And one more down at the bottom. Okay, now we're ready to rumble. All right, so take a piece of elastic, measure it twice the height of your book, and then leave a little extra to tie a knot. This is going to be just a 1 insert traveler's notebook. Otherwise, we would do it a little bit differently. So you'll start in the front and poke your elastic through to the inside. Okay, and then, is that right? Yeah, that's right. It's just a 1 insert one, and we're just going to go, our elastic's going to show on the front cover. That wouldn't be the case all the time. Some traveler's notebooks are put in like this, where you don't have the long piece of elastic, but it goes through the holes. But we only have one, and so the elastic is going to show on this particular style. Okay, but we still need 2 lengths plus a little bit for a knot, so we're going to go ahead and put that in and tie our knot. Okay, it's a little bit loose, but not too loose, and it's not super tight, because that wouldn't work either. And then I am going to cut that. All right, and now it's time to slip in our pages. Yay! Okay, so with this book being this size, these pages were cut 9 inches long, and then I think it was 5 3/4, yeah, 5 3/4 inches high. So it's going to wind up to be slightly smaller than the cover. And I have 12 sheets of paper, which means if you include fronts and backs, that would be 48 pages altogether. So we're just going to slip I cut them, just a variety of pages, papers, marigold stained, turmeric stained, coffee stained, digitals, and folded them in half. And then we're going to slip this underneath our elastic, just like that. I haven't decorated anything. With the traveler's notebook, I probably wouldn't decorate a lot, but I definitely want to have like a few envelopes and different things in here. And put some ephemera in here for sure. I made a little fold out and stuff, so all the stuff will be filled up. And probably put a little charm through here so that dangles down, but that's the basic way to do it. Let's get our closure done. I almost forgot that. So let's do the closure. After you get the pages in, you're going to sort of get your size. So I just held it enough for a knot, wrapped it around, left enough for a knot, and that's going to be our size. So I'll take these pages out again. So fold this in half, and at your halfway mark, we're going to poke that through the hole. But don't pull it all the way through. Make sure you get a nice knot. Could have actually tied that knot before I did that, but that's okay. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll hang a charm off of here, and that way for sure it won't pull through. If you tie one knot, it might, if you give it a good yank, it might pull through that eyelet. So you can go ahead and put a little charm of some kind on the end, or a bulb pin. Let's get a bulb pin. What I've done before is a garment pin, or bulb pin is hard to say. And I put some little seed beads on the end here, and then I'll just slip it underneath a layer or two of the elastic. And that way it for sure won't pull through, and you have a nice little pin with some beads on it. And then we can do this. So check for sizing if you need to make your elastic smaller, but it looks like it's about right. So that's how to make a little little pocket TN out of a paper bag. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I will put some pictures up when I'm done decorating it. I'll put some pictures up, so at the end you'll see maybe a few other things that I've attached onto here, but that's the basic tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this, and take care, everybody. Stay tuned to our channel for more content, and check out our Etsy shop. I'll leave the links for where you can find us down below. Join our Facebook group as well. We're having lots of fun on there. So take care, everybody. Bye.